let's think of let's understand the volume of scale we are experiencing on a day-to-day basis, based on the apps that we use. Let's say we use Facebook or Instagram, right? I post something, it is visible to people in my network. Someone in my network posts something, I'm able to see that, right? On Facebook, likes, comments, everything, all kinds of public activity that I do is visible to my first connections on network, right? Now imagine the volume. If let's say I post, if I am making a couple of posts in a day, if there are, let's say, 1,000 people I'm connected to or 500 people I'm connected to, all of those 500 people are seeing my post. They would also be seeing posts of another 500 people they are connected to, right? So the volume of posts or the content that is being built in on social media is increasing at an exponential rate, right? So the first thing, if you look about Facebook's feed, is how do you scale, how do you address the volume of data? If I want to operate Facebook for 15 minutes, you cannot dump me with 500 posts. It has to be sequential, it has to be ranked, it has to be uh, relevant to what I'm looking for, right? A lot of algorithms go behind ranking. A lot of algorithms go behind just fetching data for those 500 users. Now imagine if there are, let's say, 100 people posting 3 to 5 posts on a daily basis, that they themselves are creating a post of around 500 messages or articles on a daily basis. Now fetching those articles from database just for one user is not easy, because you need to now query more than 15 tables, more than 500 records, 7,000 records, just to render the feed for one particular user. That is where we talk about scale. That is where the system should be scalable. Yet today, when you open LinkedIn, you can automatically, you don't even need to wait. You don't even need to wait for the post to be retrieved from database for it to show on the web UI. Your mobile will not hang, because those 500 posts will not be dumped on your mobile all at once. There's a lot of work that just goes into maintaining or addressing the volume. That is what we mean by scaling up. That is what we mean by designing systems that are scalable. Right? No, I do not mean that service companies, if they create new innovations, they are not scalable. Service companies at the end will need to build some kind of interface or product to actually allow their clients to use their service. Right? The moment they create that interface, they're no longer a service company, it's a product company. So when you say service company or product company, you could have a mix of both. Service companies could still be having products part of it, right? And product companies still could be having services part of it. As a very simple example, right? Let's say I'm working at Swiggy, right? The Swiggy app it's a product, right? But the customer support is a service. So if there are 1 million people, and if every 1 million people, each and every one is raising a support ticket, the customer support team at Swiggy cannot handle that volume, right? And that is a growing problem. So that is where they put in some kind of automation. That is where they tell you that, okay, identify what is your issue before we connect you to the agent. Is it about refund? Here's your refund. Is it about your delivery? Here's how you can track it. That is where the product part of it comes in. The services that you have which are not scalable, you slowly build an interface on top of it to actually provide that same value, and that is where it turns into a product. I hope that addresses the question. Right? Yes. When building a new startup, should I focus on scaling infrastructure from the beginning, or think about scaling once the milestone of the user traffic is achieved? Scaling is not a one-day thing. It is an incremental process. To start off with, you don't need anything. You build a crappy version of the website, you just put it live. You download a logo from the internet and just put it live. Getting started is the important key over there. How you address that scale, users will come and tell you, I was trying to do this and this was not working. That is when you can go and fix it, or you can proactively identify that my users are going, and I have a volume of, let's say I built something like Facebook, and I have a volume of 1,000 people logging in every single day, and my website, because of that, is not able to maintain that scale. That is when you actually start optimizing database queries. That is when you start actually optimizing things. So let's look at and there are a bunch of examples over here. Let's talk about Google search. Now imagine an engine that has scraped billions and billions of web pages from the internet and is giving you the results in less than a second. Searching on all of it and giving you the results in less than a second. What is the most important part? Lot of things, right? First, scraping those billions and billions of results. Second, actually making sure that those results that you have scraped are updated, because today if I update something, tomorrow the same article could be updated, let's say 1 week later. So it has to be time constrained. If the scraping needs to happen on a regular basis, then there is search indexing that has to happen. Those records need to be searchable. I'm talking about a lot of engineering goes into identifying each and every component as well, but at a very high level, let's just split it into 2 to 3 parts, right? Scraping, searching, and actually being able to render those results on the browser. So imagine the volume where you are searching through billions and billions of records and delivering the results in less than a second. If 20 years ago someone would have told that you have these billion files in a digital format, search and give me the results. It's even today, it's the efficiency with which Google search works. It's amazing, right? Let's talk about Hotstar, right? We saw that Hotstar logo over there. Hotstar, when you start a cricket match, you are able to see the feed almost instantaneously. You are able to see even if you open it in browser, right? Today, let's say you don't use the Hotstar app, even on the browser, the scores are updated immediately. So how are these things happening? When the entire nation is watching a cricket match, how do you expect that particular website to run smoothly, right? So that is where the scale is being addressed. Remember those flash sales that used to happen on Flipkart? I think it still happens, right? Where especially it started off when Redmi came in. Right? Flipkart was the flagship partner for Redmi, and it came in with this concept where you can only order our phones through Flipkart, and it will only open up on Tuesday, something around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Everyone used to log in at that same time. Within 2 seconds, the mobiles were sold. That's a different thing, but the site also went down a couple of times. That is where scaling comes in. Big Billion Day, another example, right?